I'm going to be using my tablet here to record something. So when you pick up that half-page sheet, there's a URL on it. If you'd like to access this recording to see how I work in the classroom, this will be available on YouTube. So you don't even have to pay attention right now. You can listen to it later if you want. Okay. I'm going to be speaking, as one of my colleagues, Mary, mentioned, from the perspective of the Tablet Initiative, the Discovery Initiative. And I want to start by relating that it was a couple of years ago, December 2nd, 2013, when I got a mysterious email from Dr. Zalesny. Thank you for passing those out, by the way. Dear Joe, on behalf of President Castro, I'd like to invite you to join the President's Tablet Initiative. Congratulations. Your dean nominated you for this fellowship. I thought, oh my gosh. Dr. Zalesny knows me. The dean knows me. I'm a third-year professor, by the way. This is my first year on campus. Very little detail other than that. I didn't know what the Tablet Initiative was, but I'm a techno. And so there are 3 reasons that I said yes to this invitation to join the Tablet program. The first, that I love teaching. The second, that I love technology. Because I had identified 3 issues that I thought that this Tablet program might help me address. One was, because I was an early teacher, I was having trouble getting students to ask questions in class. And I thought maybe this technology could help me anonymize the classroom so to try to reduce that anxiety about, should I ask a question? Is everyone else going to think this is stupid? At the same time, on the flip side, I was also starting to get a little bit annoyed at the number of students who would come to office hours and ask me the same question. I'd get it 3 or 4 different times in separate groups of students in my office hours, and I thought, isn't there a more efficient way of doing office hours and sharing this information outside of the classroom? Also, second point, issues with students not coming to class. And not just for the normal reasons, but for all of the reasons, legitimate reasons. Sickness, work, travel, student athletes, right? Interviews for graduate school. There were lots of reasons why students weren't coming to class, and I thought maybe the tablets could help provide a technology and a resource for students to help themselves succeed. And I really wanted to personalize the instruction. We've heard from a lot of people already that context matters and that understanding how this information is relevant to me really motivates learning. So I thought that tablets could bring this together, giving students the opportunities and resources necessary for them to be efficient, to efficiently access course materials, to feel welcome in the classroom, and to be engaged. So those are the 3 points I'm going to hit when I talk about our template. What things are going well, what things need to be improved, and what are my 3 bold recommendations. So I want to take a quick minute before I get into this further and say that I had never touched, although I'm a technophile, I'd never had a tablet before Dr. Castro handed me mine on the 13th of January, 2014. So it's been, it was exciting. So I come at this as a technophile, but as a newbie. So 3 things that Fresno State is doing well with this regard. The first, as we've heard, funding technology for students. I think this helps engage students, and it definitely helps improve efficiency. Helping foster belonging and engagement, which we're doing today, right now. And I also wanted to mention, I wasn't able to attend yesterday, but I understand yesterday there was a Title V workshop, Practical Strategies for Facilitating Interaction in the Cross-Cultural Classroom. I wish I could have been there. So it's clear to me, anyway, that Fresno State is doing a lot to promote engagement, which I certainly appreciate. The most important thing, again, from the perspective of me having never used a tablet before, and which Mary already mentioned, is the investment that the campus is making in faculty professional development, both in pedagogy and in using technology. All of these things work together to help us be more efficient, to help engage students, and presumably to help them belong in the classroom. So this gets to my 3 best practices. The first one I do is to help me, because I have a deficit that I don't talk about all the time, but I love the idea, I always have loved the idea of learning all the students' names. I have deficits in face recognition. So what I do is syllabus day selfies. First day of class, we're going over the syllabus, everybody in class has a tablet. I say, please take a picture of yourself. Take a selfie, email it to me, put your name in the subject line. Now I have a resource to have student names and their pictures. And that's how I help myself build that sense of belonging in the classroom, because I have those resources to actually learn the students' names on my own time. I can quiz myself later if I want to, and so forth. I do. The second best practice then is to use the tablet in multiple modes, Socrative and an application. Twitter, although we heard from Dr. Tinner that that doesn't constitute a conversation, which is fine, but I do use Twitter in the classroom, and the tablet camera to get immediate and anonymous feedback in the classroom, to try to lower that resistance to asking questions. So as I'm talking, I say, students, please tweet me questions. And then I can look at the Twitter feed during class to see if people are tweeting questions to me that maybe they're not comfortable raising their hand and asking out loud. The third best practice, which I think is the most important that I've discovered from my 2 semesters teaching tablet classes now, is to do what I'm doing right now with the tablet, which is a screen capture. I have my PowerPoint slides that are my notes for my remarks today, and I'm recording audio and also whatever happens on the surface of the tablet with my finger as I annotate the slides, write on them, draw on them. So at the end of this, as I said, I'll post this as a video to YouTube, and if you want to access it, you can see what the students would see, a voiceover of a classroom worth of interaction. This is really critical for students. I've heard so much good feedback about the ability for students to access all of this material online. Not just what happens in the classroom, but potentially office hours. I now screencast homework keys. I don't just post a PDF of here are the answers, because genetics is a process. Most of our disciplines involve some process. Right. So instead of just seeing a static key to an exam, they can see me work through the exam in a video online. I have so many students accessing those materials over and over again, especially before exams, which is not surprising. And, oh, look, my phone's telling me I'm done. So my bold recommendations, I'll skip for the most important one, which is I would love to have everybody come visit me at the President's Showcases Excellence on Friday, where I have a poster giving more details about the screencasting. So if you want to come see exactly how well it's working, and if you'd like to come talk to me about how to implement this, that is one of the 3 bold recommendations that I'll make right now, is I would love to have everybody find a departmental or college colleague, especially if they're in the tablet program, and ask them to come into one of your classes and to give you feedback, kind, gentle feedback, but constructive feedback on how you might incorporate technology to improve teaching, and to give students the electronic resources like access to course materials that might help them help themselves succeed.